What is going on, everybody? So sorry for that very late start. I got my mother-in-law on the way here to try and figure out when she's going to get here so I don't have to be on baby duty and just try to put him down for a nap. Hope you all understand. If you don't, when you guys get kids, I hope you don't have to do stuff like this because it can get rough. So, a little something different. We're going to be doing the same format, but just joining me this week is Lightleap, and he's not here right now. I just told him that there he is.
I'm all right.
No, that is on me. That is on me for me taking a minute. Like I said, my baby is all over the place today, and he is just not wanting to work with me. So I have
when the baby, just take your time. I'll entertain chat.
I have my mother-in-law. She's on the way, so I kind of want to just jump in and really just ask you, what's your opinion so far? We've only been 2 days in, really two rough days, I would say. The first one was really rough considering all the problems that they had with their quote unquote test with crossplay. But what's your overall opinion thus far, Lightleap? I know that you just walked away as I said that, but
I had to close the door.
It's okay. My bad. It's all good.
My overall impression is, I mean, as I said on last week's show, my overall impression is just nothing really. It's hard to say since I stepped away from the game. It's just obvious. Like again, before anyone says, yeah, the art and the design teams and sound teams are obviously carrying this franchise, right? So you have all of the design of this new area is pretty cool, even though it's pretty bare bones. The sounds and everything, so that gives it a fresh feel, like always. But in my opinion, that's not enough to distract from the only real new addition is the seasonal activity, right? And weapons, of course, but it's a looter, like we should expect weapons.
For sure.
Seasonal activity, to me, just feels like drawn out gambit with this sundial or menagerie bar. Like you're basically just grabbing modes. It's just getting old. And this is something I've been banging on a while, that it's, I think like my first impression was that they really missed the mark with Beyond Light, not innovating in the game in a meaningful way. And it's just after
I think
like
we're still living off that residual that I was real quickly. I just wanted to add in because you say it all the time. Like I feel like we were kind of underhyped or overhyped for Beyond Light, I should say. And we really only got a handful of things on that first season that was kind of like, okay, like this might be worth the money, but everything else seemed a little hollow. Sorry, go on.
No worries. Yeah, so exactly. It just feels, I mean, take a step back. I know Destiny has this, it's very satisfying to play in the moment, right? So even if you hate the game, like if you hate the general direction, it's super easy to hop in and just have fun shooting aliens. So I think that distracts a lot of people from what they're actually doing.
For sure.
And it's just, to me, it's just... yeah, it's just the same shit. You kill enemies, you grab modes, you put them in there, you wait for the bar to fill, then you have this fun little parkour part, and you kill a boss. And there's been nothing in story seasons. I mean, yeah, people are gonna be like, "Oh, we finally see the Fallen in the city and cooperating," but it's done in such a low effort level that I don't know. Like it's like I want to enjoy it, and it's yelling at me this whole season that there is nothing to be happy about. There's nothing to enjoy, and yeah, that's just my first impression. I mean, then you get through all the terrible shit, right? Like we're gonna get to all of that. I don't know. So for everybody, Wolfie and I kind of made an outline. So we're gonna first talk about the first impressions of the season a little bit generally. Sorry, if you want.
No. I was just gonna say in the description, I kind of put our topics and what we're gonna be going through.
Okay, you did that. Okay,
yeah. So just the overall first impression of the season. The next topic we're going to get to is the seasonal activity. You kind of just touched on it, but right before we dive into the seasonal activity, my overall first impression, I was really excited to get into the first quest to watch Mithrax joined the fold again. I've been a big fan of him since the beginning. I got to hear a voice line today about how he was referring to how a Guardian saved him and helped him, and obviously that was us that did that. So his whole lore has been really cool to me. So seasonal activity wise, it feels a little bit of Gambit Menagerie put together. They had a baby and that's what it came out with. Real quick, like, because I'm gonna go make sure the baby's okay. Go into the seasonal activity and give me a little bit, give everybody a little bit of insight of how you think it is compared to the other ones. In comparison, the Contact public event rings a bell for me personally. But go ahead real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So, Chad, if you want to chime in anytime, like, let me, I can read it. So, if you have opinions on that, I'll read them. The seasonal activity, yeah. Let's dive into that deeper. I would be curious to know if anyone really felt and separate yourself from the visuals, right? From the new, because that's obviously pretty cool. The way you, I don't know, this whole Splicer area and the idea behind it is pretty cool. But if you detach yourself from this, thank you, Faded. If you detach yourself from this, the seasonal activity is really like, what do? You grab motes, you put them in there, in that tower thing. You wait for the bar to build, which takes excruciating a long time. And they took away a lot of stuff that we wanted, right? I played this, so I like the way now this Splicer Gauntlet works, because you can fill it up more and then actually play the activity more. But then I got I had 4 runs and I got 4 times armor, which, especially with Transmog, you don't want 46, 50 rolls of armor anymore. That's not exciting. Like, what I want weapons. There's not even a way to guarantee that. I know that the Umbrals come in, but that's, again, it feels like very expensive, especially in the beginning now. So it seems very grindy, and that goes in line with everything else they brought into this season. So, yeah, the seasonal activity to me, I don't know, like, chat, chime in. What do you think? It feels like they didn't really innovate on that anything. Like, you can tell that the gameplay teams, there's only implementation teams left. There's not really no ball to throw. 0 of 10. Yeah, that's what it. I mean, not even. Yeah, they don't even combine stuff, right? It seems like they always take one mechanic and then they go with it. Can I speak up? I don't know. I can't put the mic. Wolvie has to put me in louder, I think, because there's not really much I can do besides speaking directly into the microphone, which is not very enjoyable for me. So, but once Wolvie is back, I'll ask him to turn me up. So, yeah, and then the time gating of everything, right? You have to unlock, like, everything is the same again, especially if you look at the servitor. You have to. It's literally the same thing as we did last season, right? Yeah, it's fun but shallow, Ashen. I would agree with that. Yeah. So, Callie, what are you saying? And is there a point everyone running the jumping off platform thing in the 6-man activity? I fall. There was one point to try and someone from team made it, so it just teleported at end. Yeah, like that is something that I played with Greg today. And I told him that this feels pointless. It would be fun if you could run through it. I don't mind there's some parts that just feel unnecessary, because at some point you just feel like, oh, I'm gonna get teleported to the boss, right? So yeah, it's it feels like they didn't really put a lot of effort into it. But I mean, I'm torn on this parkour part, because it's actually the most fun part of the activity. It feels like you're in Tron and you have to maneuver, but then it's just annoying because you get hit by these rotating electricity rings and you die, and you know the teammate is going to pull you. Yeah, so I'm kind of torn on that. It's annoying, but when you make it through and you run through and then go slide down, it's actually kind of fun. Like, yeah. So, East Coast is saying, I really enjoy the Scourge area. Seeing a friendly fall in place of a sniper vandal I was shooting before feels astounding. Feels like the world evolved, and it makes sense why Scourge got removed. I agree with you there. I agree. That is something that they did well. But then I ask you, like, could they have made it in any less? Could they have put any less effort into it if they wanted to achieve that? Like, why? That's what. as I said, beyond this whole problem of the structure is that Beyond Light didn't innovate. Imagine if in Beyond Light this would have happened, right? We would have joined more would have happened than us just getting Stasis. And that would have actually been part of the city, maybe with vendors, right? This whole area just, it feels so like these story writers and the people who think about this stuff put effort in it, but then there's not enough willingness and not enough bandwidth because they're so much focusing on the new IP, I guess, that it's implemented in the least effort way. Because yeah, it's cool to be there, but do you have to be there? Is the game taking you there besides having an arbitrary quest? You know what I mean? Yeah, removal of pinnacles spoils farming, Greg. We're gonna get to that. We have a whole,
that's basically the last topic
later,
of everything.
For now, we just jumped from the first impressions to the seasonal activity, and I've just been going around Wolvie to catch you up.
Yeah,
with chat a little bit about some stuff is cool. It just feels little effort. That was basically my
seasonal activity. I think it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I think we're all just winded out from the whole dropping off moats and doing all that, but I'm just. I overall, I don't have a problem with it. I like the ability of going in there, grabbing something, coming back. Obviously, it's a mixture of contact, the Gambit, and then Menagerie all formed into one little mutated little baby. But still, it's. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a little fun. It's something that we've seen before, but I don't know. I don't expect them to reinvigorate brand new stuff with things that we've already had in this game before. Real quickly, real quickly, because I have to keep walking away because I keep hearing this bomb go off. I want to talk about Transmog, because Transmog, we got to see it in action, and they were kind of a little, in my opinion, I think they were a little bit generous with how much they were giving us. I think I had like 11 off the spot that I can make with just my hunter. So go into it, and I'll be right back.
Yeah. Next, Transmog. I mean, I think everybody is going off on it already. It's pretty obvious what it is. It's basically the new Eververse, right? I struggle to see anyone. I think the way it got expected from us, because the way it is implemented in other games, it's a quality of life thing, right? People wanted the ability to transmog their armor for a while, and it's present in other games, and it's more of a quality of life feature than a monetization feature. Bungie went out of their way to basically make it a purely monetized feature, because looking at the grind rates, there is no way anybody can give me an objective reason why this is good for the game, besides like they giving you a couple of stuff, or a good not good for the game, but a good system. It feels like the Bright Dust. I put a tweet out that said it feels like the Bright Dust to Silver economy, right? It's like they give you stuff once in a while, so maybe once in a while you can get something, and that's exactly what the Transmog grind is. But overall, if you really want something, you're supposed to pay for it, or if you want more than one thing or two things, right, per character. It's. I wonder if part of it is expectations in the gaming community. To be fair, because Transmog is more of a quality of life issue than other games. In this game, though, it feels double as bad, because if that was how they went about armor from the beginning, I don't know if we would be having this conversation. But the fact that we already had this armor, we were able to equip it, we had rolls with it, right? And the armor got evolved, then it got sunset, and now we get this mini part of it that we can choose to use, and everything else we have to pay for. It's just terrible. It shows, I think, the true picture of Bungie, that they're trying to monetize the shit out of Destiny from free-to-play players and from players that have Game Pass and go that direction, and we will be getting less and less. I think that with Witch Queen or Lightfall, we'll be going into a free-to-play place where they will be making money with limited content And we will never get the Destiny that we always envisioned, because I don't think they want to put the effort in to port this game. I wonder if there even will be a Destiny 3 at this point, honestly, because it seems that they really don't care about their player base, even a fan base even. I mean, they are happy with this franchise getting a slow and excruciating death. Ashen says, like I said, I feel like a free-to-play player is paying player. Why does the season pass have nearly nothing of value in it? Why is the season activity so time-gated? What do you mean by the season pass activity being time-gated exactly? Because compared to the other season, you can actually grind. It's a tough grind, but you can grind out all the unlocks, right? Everything is time-gated this season. This is also a problem for me. Why would I play VoG? Why would I will play VoG when it comes out, but why would I grind it?
Yeah.
Why would I grind VoG if I know in a month there'll be the hard mode, which will be worth grinding, right? Unless it's so atrocious that, like Grandmasters, which I do not want to grind, and I'll stick with that. But
I'd assume it won't be as bad as Grandmasters, because I know their community. I don't think the raid community and the Grandmaster community, walk the same path.
Yeah.
So I don't want to.
I was just speaking about how we kind of got into the Transmog thing.
Yeah.
Basically, it shows that Bungie, the vision for Destiny is becoming less about content and more about the monetization of people rotating into the game out and free-to-play players. It's being on Game Pass. It's going to be like one of those old games that's fun for new players to discover, but I don't think we'll ever see this vision of Destiny that we always wanted to be.
And I think our vision and each person's vision is going to be a little bit different, because we've played the game for so long. We have this expectation of where we think it's going to be, and it's always going to be somewhat disappointed, because the people that are in charge are clearly going on a different path that are different than most.
Yeah, I mean, Transmog it's literally monetization of old stuff that you've of stuff that you've already earned in the game. I don't know, the way it's even in Destiny, like you have the collections, you unlock in the collections, and you can pay for it to use it. And most of the armor, remember, is you can't get it, or like if let's say there would be less armor sets. Just stick with me with this thought experiment, right? Let's say like 10 armor sets, and there would be activities, and you could get high rolled armor pieces of every gear set you want, right?
Sure.
You can actually play for it. It would be loot. And then they would allow you to basically pay money to use this armor as an ornament. In that world, the system would make sense. In the world they created, which is that most of the armor that drops is it's hard to find good, well-rolled armor pieces for it. Most of the armor is old armor that you got at some point, got sunset in one way, in one form or another. And now you're expected to pay because they basically it's basically like this. Oh, remember how much you enjoyed this armor set? It's like the member berries, right, from South Park. Remember you enjoyed this tangled web cloak? Do you remember? Oh yeah, I remember. It was a great tangled web cloak. Okay, now shell out $10 and then you can wear it again. Like, I don't know. It's just, do you know what I mean? It's just dumb. And the fact, I'm wondering, did they need this? Because it feels like, I don't know if their player base is declining. Did they need this monetization? Was it not generating enough? And I know it's market principle, but I will, I walked away a little bit from the game, right? I could see it from far away, but I wonder if in this state I'll even get Witch Queen, because I can get the story from Mylan Games or something, and then I'm good. Because it's not even, I don't know, it's just not worth it anymore to me. And Transmog just puts the icing on the cake. So let's see what chat is talking about. Wait, what did you say? Looking forward to buying the shaders once I beat VoG. That already makes the best raids. Yeah, that is also a fascinating thing, right? That you have to unlock the shaders and you can buy them in Eververse. I know it's for Bright Dust, which is not, but it still takes away from your, it's not monetized, right? because Bright Dust you can't buy. It's completely separate from silver, but at the same time, it draws on your ability to buy something from the store, right, that you would otherwise get. And wait, what weren't the shaders requirement for the seal? Imagine if for the title you have to buy the shaders, man. This is just getting absurd to me. I mean, I don't know how anyone can look at this game and be like, "Yep, this is totally rewarding for players who paid $60 for the deluxe edition with everything, because now you basically get funneled into the store, man. You should be able to play this game when you pay full price without any limitations, you know? Transmog would be a fine system, for example. Let's say you would have a completely separate system like the Bright Dust economy with a very good grind for not even grind. It shouldn't be a grind, because Transmog, honestly, this isn't something you should actually go for. This is something you get on the side, right? And players who actually buy the expansion get lots of it. You can transmog everything you want, but free-to-play players, that's what these systems are for, right? That's what they had to separate it. But now it feels like, what are you actually paying for, right? It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me. It's designed to reduce your free in-game currency. Same reason why shaders are now 300 Bright Dust, new from Eververse. Right, yeah, that's what it's designed to do. It's funneling you into the store. And not even that, remember, somebody who paid for it and just plays VOC and doesn't really want to have anything to do with Eververse, he now gets, like, pointed towards Eververse. Like, oh yeah, you want this shader, which was previously part of the game. You now have to, like, get it via Eververse. So, yeah, it's getting absurd at this point. Let's see what else you got. All right, you talk about Eugene. He's not in chat. Stop talking about you guys. Come on. I don't want to say anything that gets us banned, but you know, we're of a gender that doesn't talk about people when they're not in the room, right? That's at least the gender I identify with. I'm not talking about Wolvie either, Faded. Let's see, to me, Zubair, you usually say funny things, but this sounds like something serious. To me, it's like the last season of a show you've been watching for 7 years. All the original actors and writers have left, and you were just writing out the season. Low expectations are key. Yeah, but I mean, I agree with you, Zubair, but at some point, it feels like what... Like, you know what, I would be fine with all this shit, like, just throw money at them and be like, yeah, I get these 10 minutes out of playtime. But at some point, don't you feel just stupid? I just feel stupid. Like, I want to just tell them, because I'm fortunate enough, this is not bragging, but I have the fortunate ability of saying, I don't give a shit of spending $100 or $120 on this game per year. All right? I can do this without thinking. But I feel stupid. Like, I buy it and I feel like I'm not rewarded for it, you know what I mean? And even though I joined the 10 minutes of new seasonal activity because it looks cool, it just feels like, okay, you know what I mean? And yeah, I feel stupid buying all. I mean, it was leftover silver, my friend. I actually don't regret that. I don't care. Like, this shitty system, if they want to keep this in the game, was the last of my silver, and now I can look cool. Yeah. I just don't play when I don't feel it, to be honest. Yeah, but I mean, do you have the deluxe edition? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I agree. I'm the same way now, right? Since ever I had this basically meltdown 2 weeks ago, where I didn't want to play anymore, and now I'm stepping in and I just play what's fun, play with friends. But I still feel a little bit stupid. Stupid for still being in it. Stupid for doing this shit again. So it's like, it's fun the second I press my button, right, and I'm shooting shit. It's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, it's fun to like get sucked in at the end of this new seasonal activity. You have this crazy parkour, it's well designed, sound effects and everything, bam, cool 10 minutes. But then I think like, wait, should I do this again? I mean, because I can shut my brain off and enjoy it again, and I can shut my brain off and not think about Transmog, but it's just more and more there's this poking sound in my head that says, man, this is just not worth it. Because I knew it was going to have enough for me to keep playing. I don't understand. You have to be more specific, I think. Silent Magician, sorry, I missed your message. Do you think this monetization of Destiny 2 has anything to do with NetEase? If I remember correctly, NetEase is a Chinese game company involved with mobile games. Mobile games equals microtransactions. This is tough to say. I don't know what the exact deal was, right? They got like what, 100 million? Since Bungie is a private company, we don't know the exact valuation of the whole company. It's hard to say and expected. So we don't know what kind of say they have. If they have like a minority stake, that depends what interest, what was the exact deal, how would that money be repaid? Is it a saying stake in the new IP? I mean, if that's true, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I mean, of course they have to earn the money back. I think it's just, for them it was, Bungie, like, listen, this is what I think about it, okay? Bungie is great at PR. They have these community managers who pretend they're great people while being shitty people. They have this very elaborate game that looks like it's a great game, but it's actually a very badly coded game, as we saw recently, even with the launch. And it just feels they will monetize the shit out of it to you know, get their investment back, and then bring the new IP. It's about business, which is fine. Like, I don't want to sound like, you know, like this idealistic kid who thinks like, oh, it should be about the art and the game and how dare they earn money with it. No, but it seems at this point, if that's the route they're going for, then they're probably going in this games I also don't enjoy, like direction of Apex Legends. I enjoy the gameplay, but like from a whole design perspective, right? The season passes and everything, that's what they're going for. They're just gonna go and become a 0.8, like a standard company that does games that are monetized in the most general way. Like somebody said earlier in chat, it's like they're Madden now, Madden NFL, or their FIFA, which is exactly what it's gonna be like. Yeah. What are you spamming here in chat? Oh, Wheezy said, like I've told you before, Destiny's my other things, like, yeah, I'm salty about anti-cheat, but other things I usually don't care about, to be honest. Right, I understand that, and that's fine. That's why I'm saying, like, you can spend the money and be like, yeah, I can have fun for 20 minutes. But I'm saying, like, I just feel dumb even if I play it like that, because it just feels like a waste of money. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't shut your brain off and be like, but since we're here and talking about it, if we're dead, you could disengage with the game, think about whether 60 bucks is worth like the 2-3 hours that you get, and it should be all fine. But if we're in this space trying to be conscious consumers, trying to discuss the state of the game, I just can't shake this feeling that it just feels stupid right now to spend any money on Destiny, because it's really not worth it. So wait, what did Brolo? He quoted something. We're excited to announce that we're entered a new partnership with NetEase. Yeah, I know all that. Bungie said in a blog post. Yeah, with their industry expertise, they'll empower us to build new worlds, invite players, and blah blah blah. NetEase Investments buys a minority stake in the Destiny studio as well as a seat on its board of directors. Okay, so I mean, they definitely have a say in it, but I think putting it on NetEase, like, it's just defending Bungie at this point. Like, it's a minority seat. They will obviously advise them on how to monetize the game, but I think all of them just wants to be as yeah. But it's you know, I think that but I understand that people are saying Destiny isn't my life. Then why are we here? Why are we here discussing it? Like, you know, I understand that you can just pay the money and basically pay 10 minutes. But like, that's not a point of discussion, right? We're trying to be here and be like, okay, is this worth being a hobby? Is this fun? And then we're discussing all these issues, and I yet have to see a case other than, oh, I just don't play it if I don't feel like it. You know, but then why are you paying for it, right? It's kind of stupid. That's my point. It's weird that people assume Destiny's zero just because people are upset. I mean, listen. I like getting upset about shit. I like discussing shit, but honestly, yeah, if you're at this point that Destiny legitimately makes you angry, then yeah, that it's probably a bit too much in my life. I mean, we discussed this, Greg. I think that a game should never have that much impact on your emotions, which is something that I realized. Right? I was so focused on trials. I was so focused on the reward. I was so focused on, you know, showing off the adept hand cannon. I practiced and I wanted to get it, and then I realized, man, this game is just not in a state to give it to me. And I realized I stepped away and I looked at myself and was like, why do I devote so much time to this shit? Yeah, but let's move on from this Destinies in our life. That's good. I think that's good. But I think we're all here because we, at some point, we enjoyed the world that they built, right? And we would like it to be something, all of us. And I think that's why we're discussing it here. Right. Yeah, that's exactly my point, Erickson. Ross. I'll just call you Ross. Erickson sounds like you're a phone. But you remember these Ericsson phones? Why did I come to that? Oh yeah, because there's something regarding China. Once there was something about 5G and Ericsson. The Ericsson had these tiny phones, man. A long time ago. Definitely, Silent Magician is saying, definitely not defending Bungie after summer of 2020 through this year. I feel like Bungie could have easily just said no, assuming that he's behind the monetization. I disagree with that. So if we're on that, I think here's the most realistic, from my limited business expertise, this is what I think they saw. They had to deal with Activision. They had to produce a third game within a very limited time window, and they realized they couldn't produce a third game without it being essentially a copy of Destiny 2, right? To fulfill the contract, because they were unable to actually agree to match the conditions of the contract that they themselves negotiated with Activision. So it was about either developing the third game, letting it probably fail, and then being bought, right? Which is something they don't want because they're egomaniacs. It seems like, at least. They have a high attachment to staying independent. So they realized, okay, we have a huge player base, a faithful player base. We have a model that we think we can support if we get an investor to support it, right? To buy themselves free of Activision, we can stay independent. We can develop. We can let Destiny slide, get money off of Destiny 2. We could keep it going, and we can grow as an independent studio. I think that's it was literally. I think it was a live or die situation. What would have been better for the game as Destiny fans is hard to say, right? Would you have enjoyed a shallow Destiny 3 with a couple of expansions that closed out the story? Or would you prefer this point that at least it continues even though it's at a very shallow and monetized way? I think, yeah, it's hard. Omar, I don't have a channel yet. I thought about streaming, but I'll let you guys know if it's time. You can hit me up on Twitter if you want. It's Shotgun Chimp. I recently changed my handle to something that I thought was more accurate, because the way I go about in Crucible, which is aping and shotgunning, is the same way I dive into conversations. Wheezy's saying, I've given up shit being competitive or anti-cheat, yada yada, so I play for the things I like, and when there's nothing for me or things I don't like, I don't play. That's it. That's just my take. I agree with that. That's good. That's fine. I did the same. As I said, but if from this perspective, like, yeah, I mean, I guess you can just put the money in, forget about Bungie, forget about the devs, but I feel like it's like, okay, this is way too crazy of a point, right? But let's say you buy I don't know, I don't want to say any company, but let's say you buy sneakers that you enjoy, and they turn out to have shitty business practices, right? At that point, can you, or they fall apart, let's say, and at a certain point you're like there's no other sneaker like this, but it has super quality issues, it sucks, but you have the money to buy it every 2 months. Or would you just say, no, you know what, even if I like the sneaker, I kind of feel stupid now for buying it. This is garbage. This is just preying on people who have too much money and too much time on their hands. And I think this is exactly what's going on, right? This is how I feel about the game right now. Like, I could just play whatever, but since we're here and discussing it, well, yeah, I'm repeating myself, I have a feeling. Yeah, and I mean, all of us, right? We wanted a new engine. We had so many visions, and at this point, I doubt this will even happen, because I don't even think they know what they want. I mean, let's look at Beyond Light, right? Imagine you would have landed, there would have been a story and Forsaken way, where you land, you figure out what's going on, you meet Mithrax already there, and they have like a settlement of the Fallen, would be new social space with new vendors, maybe like Fallen gear, like quests that you could, repeated quests that you can do for Fallen, like kill some shit that's threatening them, some monsters on that you're actually on Europa. Something where you feel like, wow, this is something cool. I haven't done that in Destiny. Instead, what's happening? You have like Beyond Light drops, and we have these Empire hunts, which feels like copies from the Shadowkeep Nightmare hunts. No strikes, no Crucible maps. One strike, sorry. And yeah, it just feels like they're really milking this. They have the knowledge that players just enjoy these half an hour in Destiny, right? And that's it. They don't want to develop this game anymore. They don't want to make it deeper than it is. Yeah. VOG is the only reason I'm playing this season. Same. If I didn't have Greg baited and some other friends that we plan out to check out VOG, this wouldn't be happening. Because honestly, like, what's there to do? I mean, as a PvP player, you get shit on, right? Let's talk about that. Because, alright, so we milked the Transmog, we kind of moved away. We saw all the PvP players, right? What do you guys think about that? All the PvP players are leaving. Stasis is apparently at a state that's even worse than it was before. Like, I don't know, man. Like, it's just so hard for me to understand what is going on in their brains, right? Jones, have you played other MMOs? I have played the Old Republic, yeah. Why are you asking? I'd like to hear what's the point. I'm just curious. That sounds accusatory. I just mean like what I have, but I have to say I never played MMOs, like grinded the shit out of them and lived in those games. The Old Republic, I was just a Star Wars fan. It was like a time in my life where I just didn't want to go to uni and just play through all the story content basically, and yeah. I mean, the Stasis, yeah, I'm not a PvP player, so that's probably why I'm not as upset. I mean, yeah, it's sometimes it's really hard because I play games to shut my brain off, so I don't think about it in a very cerebral way of analyzing what's going on. I can't play it anymore without being annoyed. And it's just bad. PvP crybabies, in my opinion. I mean, I don't think that's true. It's miserable to play unless you don't really play PvP. There's not really there's not really anything that's good about it right now, right? What's fun about being frozen? Like, what's fun about having an ability spam? What's fun about going around a corner, somebody casting a rift, and you being frozen? Like, stuff like that, right? It seems like the fun and part about Bungie is the movement, the gunplay, and everything, but that's not really happening. So, yeah, I don't know. Bungie only cares about them as free marketing. Other than that, they don't care. They have shown that. Ashen, what are you saying? I think Bungie gives a crap about them. Oh, you mean like long-term players, fans of the franchise? Yeah, they probably don't. I mean, yeah, it's this whole season, right? To me, this whole season shows the true colors of Bungie, which I think people who are familiar with the situation Lona was in, right, saw that the way the community was is a lot of self-righteousness and then extreme pettiness and extreme watching out for their own interest. And this is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to monetize the game. They're being extremely petty, right? We didn't even get to that yet, but let's talk about the nerfs for Deepstone Crypt and the seasonal challenges. Why the fuck would they do that? And also, they spent time. This is something maybe not a lot of you know, but so when Beyond Light went into Season of the Chosen, Season of the Hunt went into Season of the Chosen, there was this. You could basically complete more of the fragment quests than you could purchase, right? So in the end, you were left with 2 of this currency that you could buy fragments with. And when we went into Season of the Chosen, you still had these 2. You could buy 2 immediately and do the 2 other quests and get the new fragments, right? They took time to make sure that this is now eliminated from your inventory, right? Even though you already did that last season, and that's how it worked, and they never mentioned that anywhere. This, together with the Deepstone Crypt, like I want to see Ross or someone that's still delusional and like playing like an addict. I want them defending the Deepstone raid nerf. There's no reason for it. And I would like to see a reason why the seasonal challenges got nerfed. Who the fuck cares at Bungie that people had it easy to fulfill their season pass that they paid for with the seasonal challenges, right? Or get like super high power and were able to play Grandmers? Did anyone complain about that, right? Did anyone complain about this at all? I don't think so. So it just seems like, I don't know. It just seems like extremely pettiness, extreme going for, like they take a lot of time to hype us up for Transmog, and then it's basically another monetization feature, and we're left with a shitty expansion and another seasonal activity that banks on looking cool, but there's nothing behind it. I mean, literally there's nothing. You play strikes now again for fragments, like it's all the same shit. I know, Weezy. I know you haven't defended anything. You just don't care. I understand your point. Like, that's all right, homie. Let's see. What are people saying here? And come on. I'm just messing with you, but I'm like, you have to help me. I'm alone here, and I have to like find someone to pick on. You know, kind of like the stand-up comedian. I just do it worse, but kind of like the stand-up comedians. Sometimes when they're like, you know, when they're out of jokes, they pick someone in the audience and pick on them the whole time, and everybody laughs. That's like you for me right now. Yeah, but that's what I mean, like, Russ, like, you weren't stoked that DSC didn't have pinnacles, but were you stoked that seasonal, like, there's so much shit that has been taken away from you and nerfed, like, why is that a thing, you know what I mean? It just feels like, it really feels like they're trying to be petty, and they're trying to monetize the development time they put into the game besides... Yeah, Beyond Light. They have basically, I would have expected them to ramp up season after season now, right? To like make up for the Beyond Light release, but what happened was just Beyond Light just stays there. I'm actually amazed that we're like, look at us. Half a year ago, we were pissed at Beyond Light. Now we're just talking about this season, right? We have to put it in the whole context. This year is another year of Shadowkeep with nothing much. Yeah, so... yeah, BQ, BG, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I just want to answer with someone. BQ, I did delete all my characters, yeah. I want to write a story about that on Twitter if you want to hear the story. I don't want to like take it apart now for all of chat, but it helped me essentially to step away from the game because I was too attached to everything and see it a bit in a different light because this attachment to the game is unhealthy at this point.
So thanks for holding it down. Thank you everybody for understanding that this is probably the roughest day of being a dad I've had in a long time. He doesn't want to sleep, he doesn't want to eat, he doesn't want to pass fire, he doesn't want anything. Finally, I think I finally figured out the remedy, but
he feels season of the Splicer being
Transmog. Transmog is cake compared to this baby right now. I did want to add before I walked away because we were still talking about Transmog. I don't know if you moved on to the next topic, but I felt those bounties are very grindy. The one Crucible bounty I have is 30 points, collect 30 captures in Control. It may not seem
what?
Like one of the bounties for Crucible is 30 zone control captures. You have to capture 30 zones. That's like an Iron Banner bounty.
Wait, like a daily bounty or what?
That was the bounty from Ada for the Crucible.
Oh, the Transmog bounty.
Yeah, just one of them I felt was a little much for 30 plus.
I mean,
but, hey,
before you have to play for 7 hours to even afford that bounty, no?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't engage with that system at all. I just tried to understand the economy. So.
Yeah, he's okay, Wheezy. Appreciate it.
I'll go to the bathroom for a second.
He's just so I don't know. I guess last night really wasn't that great of sleep for him. I was up pretty late with him. I don't know. He's okay. I don't know Lightleap got to talk about or what he didn't talk about. I don't know. Going through the whole Transmog screen, it was cool to see everything, but I was like, man, like, this is not how I imagined it would look. I figured it would be greater in scale for some reason, and even more so, I felt that a lot of these things that were being implemented through the Transmog system were done well. I think the shader system is pleasant to look at, but I don't know. In the back of my mind, it just feels a little odd. Maybe it just takes a little bit to get used to, but we'll definitely get to see how that is. I want to go backtrack a little bit because there were
we kind of touched on everything.
Yeah, there were a few things that I wanted to add in also in regards to the seasonal activity. I'm glad it's matchmaking. I think plenty of people were excited.
Yeah,
to
but
see
I mean,
that.
like, let's not praise them for shit.
I'm
that
not
should be
praising.
like,
This is not praising. This is not praising. I don't do any praising. I'll praise when there's something to praise, but I will admit when something's better than what it was before. Contact event was shit because we were like, why isn't this match made?
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. We're already 3 seasons past Contact, right?
Of course.
Everything
And I'm not. Again, this isn't about praise. This is about realizing what works and then commenting on. You brought this back. You took it away because you thought it wasn't going to fit into the mold. I'll be honest to say, matchmaking for any of these activities through any of the seasons would have worked. So why was it removed all in the first place? It shouldn't have been. Matchmaking for these activities each and every season should be match made. Whether it's 3, whether it's 6, whether it's 4, I don't care. It should be match made. So that's something I was happy about. Not necessarily like I think they deserve credit for. No, you've had it in the game before, but whoever's in charge season to season has a different view. I don't understand why it's the whole conversation about trials. It's like, why would you stray from something that was working for such a long time and then divert to something that is literally hated? I don't understand. So I brought up trials, so let's go into PvP and the massive amounts of frustration people have had, not just with Stasis over the last, almost 6 months now. Now it looks like it's come full circle again with a lot of these new aspects and fragments that they dropped off this season. Last night, I watched it as it go on. Hashtag Nerf Stasis was trending on Twitter in the gaming portion of it. First of all, let me just say, they're not going to remove Stasis from PvP. If they do go ahead with that, it would be a complete waste of their time and money that they put into Beyond Light. And I don't see that that's just the plan of action they're going to go into. Are more nerfs needed after yesterday or 2 days ago? Absolutely. Why would you bring that cold snap grenade back into form of what it was before? I don't understand. And whoever's in charge,
only per hunters.
It's still like even that specific point. Like, why would you do that? Like, as a hunter, why would you go ahead and do that? You just went ahead and you kind of balanced out the nades to the point where it seems a little bit homogenized. I think Dustfield was probably the one lacking the most, but maybe they should have added that fragment and maybe to boost Dustfield a little bit. I don't know. What did you think, Lightleap, of everyone kind of voicing their frustration yesterday, whether it was on Twitter, whether it was just on wherever else that you saw people pissed off, Discord, YouTube, whatever?
It's good. I worry that this is their biggest issue with PvP right now. I agree that Stasis is problematic, but it just the reason I stopped playing was not because of Stasis, right? The reason I stopped playing is because we could not get past Win 5 without matching a cheater, right?
Yeah.
On PC. So that's one thing. And then Stasis there is so many overlying issues in PvP, right? High latency, peer-to-peer, and then Stasis is on top of that. You already have so many issues with Destiny, right? Shots not hitting, specials being inconsistent, especially shotguns, melee whiffs, and you add to this environment something that it adds to the not fun aspect, right? You already have to live with all of that. Then you have to live with the fact that you made one tiny mistake and you're frozen and you have to watch yourself get teabagged and die, right? I think that Stasis added to all of the garbage that is already Crucible just is the last straw for everyone. So this is now their hating aspect, but I feel like if I feel Stasis with all its bullshit, if it was in an environment with dedicated savers, low latency, and none of these hit registration issues and consistency issues, it wouldn't be like the thing that brings the everybody to burn up about it. That's what I think. I think that yes, it's shit. It's annoying. There's no way around it. They were able to. I mean, you can see in the Warlock, they were able to tune Stasis in a way to the Warlock that they used legitimately broken other super, but still, people were using what's it called? Chaos Reach, right? In trials, other than Stasis. And yeah, as I said, I think it's just the last straw for everyone. That's what it feels like. And it is
very much so. Very much so.
Yeah.
You see literally all of the major content creators that are involved in this game, throw out the hashtag. There's one in particular I didn't see. I don't want to call him out though. I just think he's not all about the trend, but I don't know. Stasis has been a point of frustration for a lot of people. A lot of people have been just overcome and adapt to it. I've been one of those people that have just been able to push aside all the negativity surrounding Stasis because I adapted to it in a way that it incorporated in my gameplay, and I was very successful with it. I was able to adapt and still maintain that productivity after nerfs with my respective class and the way I play. And even after this upcoming nerf again, it's going to be doing the same thing. But with that being said, for me to not acknowledge the fact that a lot of people are not kind to this in a way where it is completely changed the atmosphere of the way they approach this game, I understand that. For me to not be acknowledgement of that would just be naive and kind of ignorant. But at the same time, I truly find myself on that spectrum where I don't need a hashtag nerf Stasis or I need to do this. They're going to go ahead and tune it however amount of time they want to do it. They've stretched it out. I personally think, and Lono said it when he was covering this game a long time ago, and I've still kind of kept it in the back of my head in regards to the viewpoint of Stasis and the light subclasses. As soon as the light subclasses and Stasis, I think, are finally in a point where people are less bitchy, the new subclass is going to come out, in Witch Queen is going to completely just restart this whole cycle of where, like, oh, whatever the next subclass is next season, it's too broken, it's doing this, it's doing that, and we're going to find ourselves in that repeated cycle from, and this is just speculation, of course, but it really seems that way. I really thought, and I thought they were going to get it early, meaning we were going to have like a full solid season of balance between light and Stasis. But now it looks like we're right back to square one with Stasis just being extremely overpowered.
I don't know. I think also that they don't care. I'm upset about a lot of things. I cannot for the life of me. I tried to think about it. I cannot for the life of me figure out why they make certain decisions, and it just seems like their communication. I think they're still working not from the office, right? How can a huge part of netcode like crossplay make it into a premature seasonal release and fucking up the game? Like how is that possible? Why do they spend time and effort to take away currency from the player's inventory, to nerf deep stone crypt rewards, to nerf seasonal challenge rewards, right? That all has to be discussed, it has to be implemented, and everybody always says, oh, it's, every change it's not so easy as you think, so this goes also for these changes. And I'm just asking myself, what the fuck are they doing? Like, why Why? Why do they do this? But I cannot for the life of me figure it out, except for in like true ineptitude. They don't have good management that makes them look at the bigger picture, that someone didn't realize that a piece of this netcode was still in the season, and the other, like the nerfs, they're just petty. It just seems like they were pissed at the bad press they got, pissed with everyone, with the community, and they were just like, you know what, we're also taking away this shit and we're not mentioning it in the patch notes. Have fun. Why? Why on earth do they care about people reaching Pinnacle, playing DSC, playing old content that they paid for, right? This is also something that Greg said. The fucking free-to-play raid will be Pinnacle, and the raid you paid $40 for is now nerfed.
That's
like, compared to, like, you can't get the currency as much. You can get max 12 spoils per character, which is one weapon, extra weapon per week. And it's on a weekly lockout still. You don't get Pinnacles. Why? Why do they make old content irrelevant? Why does this always have to be this fucking monkey's paw with Bungie? And I think it's just because they're petty dickheads. I think that what you saw, what happened with Lono, the fucking ban that they put on him, those are just a bunch of petty dickheads that think like, you know what? We can do you one worse. And later they're going to get praised for reverting part of the decision. This is, I think, what they're doing. Like, honestly, this is it's that's why it's making me mad to think about giving this shitty ass company money, because there is no way. I wish chat, if you, I swear I'll donate $100 to Wolvie right now if somebody can come up with a legitimate reason why. I don't want to make you suffer. Sorry.
No,
because nobody will come for it. I hope.
No,
but like,
no one's gonna put
if
that.
somebody can, if somebody come up with for a legitimate reason, like, give me a good reason for why they had to do these stealth nerfs to the economy. What did it hurt? Something, a legitimate point where I would be like, you know what? I disagree, but that I could see that their perspective. There's none. There's none except, you know, like the same way they saw, like the same way they put the ban on Lono, and then they go and give their crap about being virtueful people and virtuous people, and
they're full of moral, full of morals.
The same thing with now, like they didn't like it, so they banned him. They didn't like the bad press they got. They didn't like the community being upset, and they're gonna do what's one worse. They're gonna give us more grind, and then that's why I'm so also more angry about people defending the stat on the game, because they're taking shit away from you that it's unnecessary. Making like, I want to just play less. You tell me to play less, so I want to hop on and complete the seasonal challenge. It gives me less rewards. I want to hop on and get DLC done. I don't get shit for it. Why? You know? It's just really, yes, exactly. I'm shocked how insane it is. That hits the nail on the head.
The Bungie that we used to know is definitely a hollow figurine of what it is. People probably roll their eyes like slot machines when we talk about the Halo 1 through 3 days, and then that group of people either moving on to different things, maybe a few of them is still incorporated with the business somewhere, but the people in charge, the people that have taken the reins of this game, I don't know. I've always said it. I have always said it. This goes to anything. This doesn't go to game development. This goes to the regular 9-to-5 workplace, or even if you have another job, or you have a 24-hour city like I do, living here in Las Vegas. The management always, I think, needs to be looked at after so many years of things just not being able to work out, or things just not being the consensus driven, where everyone is a majority. You're not going to please everybody, but the majority should be happy. And on the round table and on call-ins and everything, when the dude was still covering this game, and we were all still in a little bit of a happier spot, that I've always said, when are we going to finally say it's okay to point the finger at the people in charge, and not necessarily at why we're upset about the activity being shit or the rewards being shit? How about the people that are okaying rewards being shit, or people okaying that looks like a really cool seasonal activity, or the people that are okaying, let's go with the free to play audience more so than we are doing with our core audience who have been paying this for X amount of years? That has always been the question I have asked. So now I'm asking, management-wise, who thought it was a really good fucking idea to remove, and you probably said this already, remove the pinnacles from Deepstone Crypt. That raid has been out for 6 months. I had to bash my head in the wall in Garden of Salvation, still teaching people almost 11 months after it, and it was still giving you pinnacles. What's the difference? What changed between Shadowkeep and Beyond Light that you had to take away 5 pinnacles halfway through the year? Why? And I don't want to hear. If I hear later on we fix the pinnacles of an unintended mistake, bullshit. You guys removed it because you guys are basically filtering and putting a gas pedal on how much we can move up within our pinnacle. I don't like it. I don't like that at all. I was really pissed off that the Deepstone Crypt removed their pinnacles 6 months after release, when I grinded the shit out of the Garden of Salvation for the entire year for pinnacles. I'm actually really upset about that. I think that's ass, and I'm more upset about it, not just for the pinnacles, but I enjoy that raid. I like to do stuff in this game where I'm getting rewarded. I'll be honest with you, I could go back and play it any time and still feel that nostalgic feel, but no, I'm a person that likes my time. I like to double dip in this game. I like to do one thing, maybe have fun with it, and then while completing another objective. Whereas in Deepstone Crypt, I was getting pinnacles, I was enjoying it, and still at the same time racking up of the currency to get whichever is in the kiosk. Now, I really have no reason to run a raid until VOG, and then that's probably got a 6-month expiration date on it for whatever else. Why? I don't think anybody, unfortunately, in chat can give me a really good reason as to why they removed Deepstone Crypt. Yeah, VOG's coming out this year, but why couldn't we have Deepstone Crypt and VOG both giving us pinnacles? There was no reason to remove that. None. And there's nothing anyone can say to change my mind that was an expansion that we got for 6 months. Yeah, they're giving us a free raid in VOG, but that's old. We've done that. The Deepstone Crypt is still fucking new. I don't get it. I really don't get that upset about PvE stuff, but that in particular I got upset about because as most of you all know, I'm only playing Trials, but I went ahead and got Descendant in that. I put in time. I invested. I liked doing that raid. I felt comfortable doing every position. There wasn't a moment in that raid where I felt lost or I felt like I was going to let my team down because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And now I'm never going to go back and do it because it doesn't add to pinnacles. It just doesn't. Now it removed my want to go do it. I don't go on these rants as much as I should, but this one pissed me off. I should be going on rants week in, week out on how much Trials pisses me off, but man, I've just learned to expect it that they don't know what the fuck they're doing with Trials. So
yeah, I mean, how bad does it have to be that the fucking casual radical is in here in chat and agrees at least? I mean, we're used to from her. She always has a soft language, right? She says it's a disservice to the game. All right. It's a disservice. Yeah, it's a disservice to my ass. It's the biggest shit they pulled in a long time. That's what it is. It's fucking worse than Hawkmoon not being a weekly grind. I'll tell you right there. Or Hawkmoon being on the weekly lockout. It's just, you know, as I said, it's petty. I'm struggling to think something else. I'm struggling to be like, see the other side of this. Or I'm struggling to see something like, that's it, Dan, you're in a timeout. Because, yeah, this, I mean, we're having fun here. We're ripping on Bungie, obviously, because we don't like a lot of shit they do, but we don't want to have this evolved into politics. And I'm sure Wolvie agrees with me. So, yeah, anyway, so I'm struggling. I'm trying to figure out how to talk about it differently. I'm trying to think of what they're doing. Hey, what's up, Mike? Also, we see you in chat. I'm trying to think of another reason that they're doing it, but it's just, other than it makes the game less fun, this is what I don't get. Like, you see it from the player perspective, and it's just less fun, right? Because you have no pinnacles. People, and I think, yeah, I see the point that people are saying, oh, it's a power grind. It's a power grind, and they want to extend it, but it's so obvious, right? And other times they try to extend the power, and this is taking so much fun out of playing the raid again, especially before we had, like, VoG is not even out. It's the only raid we want to play right now. It's fun still for a lot of people. People say they want to play it, and you're taking that away from them, which was rewarding for it. Especially the spoil stuff is I don't get. Why do they care now that people get less spoils from it, right? This is, and even if VoG comes out with the same amount of spoils,
I'm sure
let
they
the
will.
people play what they want. Why do they have to funnel them into the new activity? I just don't understand it. And so wait, can I answer?
Yeah, please,
asking why it's petty.
Please.
I think. Well, what else do you think it is? I mean, what else makes a dev sit there and be like, you know what, I'm gonna take this away from them and this away from them?
Yeah.
What like, I think that they were pissed off. There's a pissed off feeling at Bungie because they see that their tide of PR is changing right now against them, and that was already towards the season of the Chosen, towards the direction the game is going, and it feels like, you know what, we're gonna, because they know only us care about this, right? A casual player who just goes and shoots aliens doesn't realize it. Their hardcore fans do. So, you know, it seems like it's a really petty way to show the players, to show like hardcore players and players who are fans and hobbyists of the franchise to be like, yeah, this is how we're going about it. If you don't like it, we have the power here. You know what I mean? And now, because, you know, they're going to see the outrage, they're going to probably, that's also something that I would describe them to, because you can see that on Twitter, right? With their whole self-righteousness and virtue signaling.
Yes.
That they will love the praise they get, and which will inevitably come if they, you know, they do something they go back 10 steps, then make one step forward again, and the whole fucking fan base is like, thank you for listening. You guys are great. We knew you wouldn't leave us in the dust or something like that. You know, this is the shit that's gonna. I mean, I lost hope in the Destiny community the moment when there was one frame of a fallen baby in the trailer, and then they released the fucking fallen plush. They just pulled a Disney, like the same thing they did with Baby Yoda, right?
Baby Yoda, yep.
And the first post on Reddit with like 15,000 upvotes, like, holy shit, they're selling baby plushes. And you're like, what? Like, don't you see what the kind of market?
There's been plenty of times I've lost faith in this community, and I've wanted to, and this was based off of when Lono was still covering the game. I wanted to build a PvP generated community that wasn't toxic, that wasn't racist, that wasn't, you know, full of shit. And I've had to take a seat back and literally watch as this community eats itself alive and then pretend like everything's all honky-dory. It's between the debacle that happened when Deepstone dropped and people calling it too easy and just taking away the fun of everyone else, to the amount of shilling that people will go out of their way to do for this gaming company when things are really not as what it seems. Congratulating on an amazing launch for this season, and then 30 minutes later writing a press piece about how they fucked up. It's like, where do you find yourself within the spectrum of honesty, truly of honesty? It's just like you have no idea where you want to pick. And this isn't on one particular person. This is on many people. This is people that have been unable to, I guess, give an honest take to their own communities on where they find themselves in this game. Yeah, they could just say they walked away or they don't give a fuck anymore. But why not just take it to the next level and truly be honest with your community, saying, I'm in this game because I want to have Trials be successful, and I play the other aspects of this game while Trials is successful because it kind of just has a perfect equilibrium. I'm able to do other things, and I'm able to jump right back into the event that I want to be a part of. Where I find that most content creators are kind of disingenuous with their either opinion of Destiny or wanting to keep their fan base involved in it is when they shill to the point of just saying, what an amazing job. They need credit, give credit where credit's deserved. I don't know where credit is deserved at this point. I will say things that I like without
Things you
a-
like?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I'll say things that I like, but these are things that should have been either put into the game long ago. What took so long, or I'm okay with. But that doesn't mean I'm going ahead, rolling out the red carpet and saying what an amazing job that they've done. No, these are minuscule things. These are UI things that should have taken place years ago, and where basically where I'm going with all this, it's about honesty with the game. I'm able to be honest with the game. I have people on this show that are honest with the game. Lightleap, Faded, and Greg. They were all very honest with this game in terms of where they saw it. And some people don't always see that, and that's okay. When I'm not here to burst your Destiny bubble, and I don't want you to burst our Destiny bubble. It's just where we have found ourselves, and I'm typically always been the half glass full person, but there are things about the beginning of this season that definitely rubbed me off the wrong way, and I didn't have any expectations. I had none, and there were things that started off, I was just like, I don't think I want all that.
I agree with you, except for this point where we don't want to burst anybody's Destiny bubble. I didn't see it back then yet. When we were still doing the ride table, and also with 30 Install Gaming, he said he was not going to buy it. He's just going to dip in because he has the Game Pass, and I think that's how it's meant to be played now. And we were still fans. I understood his point of view, but I always thought it was too negative in a say. But now, when I stepped back from the game, right after deleting my characters and freeing myself from this attachment, I see how it is. And I see why he was always so worked up, because I do think that you just got $5 for somebody that obviously wants a ban. So
I was gonna let you finish. I was gonna let you finish your sentence. Hey man,
Cool.
Dan, I like you a lot. I didn't catch what was going on. I 100% avoid anything political myself, just because I know people don't like what I like, and I don't like what people like. So I'm gonna stick to talking about things that people like. Destiny, video gaming's, hating shit together. I appreciate you being around, Dan. I definitely don't want to see you go. I like I said, I'm not looking at anything political in this aspect, but man, yeah, we don't really talk about that stuff in here, like I said, because people see different things differently, and those types of things will rub people the wrong way, rather than just saying their favorite playlist sucks. You know what I mean? Go on, sorry, Lightleap.
So now when I detach myself from it, right, looking at everything that they do with the transmog and everything, I see that's exactly what I'm saying. The only way this makes sense is if you get this game for free in a Game Pass or something. Wolfie said we don't want to burst anyone's bubble, but it's listen, Dan, like, you're making a scene out of this. I don't know, this is Wolfie's channel, but he made me mod, at least because he trusts my judgment. This is, you call people liberal pussies. That's what we don't want to have this, because this is not about what side you're voting for or whatever. This doesn't determine your attitude, and the reason I timed you out is because you kept arguing that point. And if you want to keep arguing that point, or if you want to make 1v you know what I do? Here's what I'll do. Like, to just to piss you off. Wait, where is this? How can you do that? 1 second. I will. How much was the monthly sub of yours? I'm curious, because here's what I'm gonna do. Because you seem, because you think this is so important of your sub to this channel. So let me think. I'm just donating a year of your subs, and if you keep arguing, nobody will miss you. So, moving on. Moving on to the point at hand. Yeah, it's really hard for justify for anyone to be playing this game, to be paying for this game at this point. If you look at Transmog, if you look at all of this, Wolvie, just so you get caught up, Dan was making a show of leaving, of canceling a sub, so I donated a year of worth of his sub just to make him shut up. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Sorry. Yeah, everybody. I'm not judging anybody on their political opinion. Like I said, you're not going to like what I like. Some people not going to like what other people like. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not saying any of the mods are wrong for shutting it out when they did. I just feel bad for Dan because I don't want to make Dan feel like he can't express himself. But sorry,
he can.
I had to run up and down the stairs. When people talk about those certain things, it's just you're always going to step on someone's toes. And I've learned that out the hard way hundreds of times, especially when I was talking about political debates in college. It ruins some friendships. It ruins stuff what we're talking about. We're definitely just here to talk about gaming, entertainment, stuff that makes us happy, pisses us off. You know, that real life shit we try to just keep out. At the end of the day, you know, we all have our own personal ideologies, and that's just what it comes down to.
I don't want to make this into a bigger thing because it's always like, oh man, Weezy will do bullying, and yes, it makes it worth it.
I appreciate you guys, Coach Gill, Weezy. Thank you guys. Yes.
This is not about his political views. This is just if a mod or Wolvie tells you, listen, don't put this in the chat, then that's the end of the discussion. You don't like, and then I even explained it, and then it kept on arguing, and then there was a time like this is not okay. Like I gave a lot of leniency in this, but I just don't want to chat evolve into this because
for sure
how it is.
It's a snowball effect. If it's not nipped in the butt in the beginning, it could turn just into something, and then we're saying senators, then we're saying candidates, and then we're just pissing each other off. Let's just go together and be shoulder to shoulder and be pissed off at Bungie again.
Exactly. The best way is to hate everyone equally.
Yeah. Droop 75, thank you for hitting that join button. You're a warrior, buddy. Welcome to the Coliseum.
Yeah.
So we're almost.
So my last point was just that on your point, because you said that we don't want to burst anyone's bubble. I was basically going in that Mike direction. That, man, you have to step away a little bit from the game and really see what you're getting, because you can say, I think the only legitimate point was to say, literally, I don't care about the money. I don't care what value of product I'm getting. I'm just having fun. And that's fine. That's fine. But I don't think there is a legit point to say that you're getting good value for money or Destiny. Destiny is basically like buying premium t-shirts from Prada that are just like any other t-shirts, even if not worse quality what you're getting. But you want that feel of wearing Prada. That's how I feel Destiny is. You want the feel of shooting guns in Destiny, but you're not really cerebral in your approach to the game, right? Because there's really not a lot of value right now being presented in the game. And the biggest part that this is like, let that sink in. The stuff that brings the biggest innovation, right, is Transmog, both from the menu overhaul, from what it brings to customization of the game, and that is monetized like crazy, right? That's my issue. If, let's say, Beyond Light was excellent, the seasonal content like brought tons of new shit, I think like Stasis and PvP with all the garbage that's going on, that was the last straw. Transmog is like the last straw for anyone to see that you're really not getting a lot of stuff in the game.
No, and agreed. And a lot of those things that we didn't get in the game, I will admit, and Wheezy could probably kind of agree with me on this, we got a bunch of perks that I didn't expect us to get this season, and I'm kind of interested in them. I want to go ahead and break them down another day when I finally get my hands on most of them. I was fortunate enough to get my hands on the Iron Banner Sniper and the Iron Banner Hand Cannon from holding on to my bounties. So this isn't praising. This is me being pleasantly surprised with the amount of couple new weapons and then a bunch of new perks. I think that was something to work on. And then when you have all the other crap that we've just laid it over basically the last hour, it kind of supersedes the positives. And where I think Lightleap and myself and a majority of you could probably agree with us on is that we need to find a way, or they need to find a way to expand on the positives more so on the negatives. Again, you are never going to please everybody. You're never going to please everyone, and I guess at the end of the day, that's okay. That's okay. But at the same time, if you're pleasing a good portion of the majority, I don't know. I think you'll be more successful. I don't know if you got to touch any of these new perks or these new weapons or anything like that, but I'm actually, again, pleasantly surprised in that facet that there were those little bits of new things.
Yeah. Well, yes. I mean, but the perks, unfortunately, just lose focus because they aren't. Are they like? Is there a standout like I've played with a lot of new perks on the weapons, and why I'm struggling right now is there one that stuck? Oh, is there one that where you said, "Oh, this is cool. This is what it's called. I want to try this on this weapon." Do you have any name of the new perks in the head? Wolvie, like just
one was called Heating Up.
What does it do?
That one, if you finish off with a kill, it basically gives you accuracy and recoil direction. It kind of gives you a little bit of mini of the Rat King perk, which was something I was kind of interested. There was like 2 or 3 perks that proc off of final blows, which again, it's really interesting the amount of builds you can make, especially with that auto rifle. That 720 auto rifle, it's got me a little bit interested on the amount of versatility I think it can. But there should be more of those. I think that's kind of what we want to say. There should be more of those guns and more of those perks in a broader sense, that there should be a new playlist, new vendor resets. It should be different every season. Tunnel Vision, that's another one. Adrenaline Junkie is another one as well.
Yeah, you're just going on Light GG and reading off the new perks. I don't believe you. No, okay, all right. That's true. To me, it doesn't bring enough freshness to. I think it's good. I think they finally figured out a little bit of loot delivery. We're getting good new weapons. We're getting VOC that we have to say. I think that the whole structure around the game sometimes makes us forget of the good stuff that's coming. Right? We're getting a raid, even though it's repriced. For me, it will be new. So it's also difficult to have like an objective video whether that's new raid or not, but we're getting weapons with that, right? We're getting we got the new seasonal weapons. They reprised a lot of like future walkout, which is integrated into the story weapons, which I think is really cool the way they did that, right? That Lakshmi is now back, future walkout reader. There's this tension going on, and we're also getting their weapons. This is all good shit.
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, this is the good part of Destiny, right?
Yeah.
The problem is that you're still playing in mud, even though if you sometimes find gold.
30 asks, are the new perks so much better than the old perks to help you beat the new content? I'm asking in a non-sarcastic way. I truly would like to know. Greg says not really. They add versatility to these guns in a way that is beyond the narrow spectrum of kill clip and swashbuckler.
But I mean, dynamic sway reduction would almost do the same thing. I think 30 is saying
for sure,
because I remember 30 had this point once on the round table, right? That he wanted to see perks. His way of sunsetting was that you could get super strong and powerful perks that would be valid in that activity and would be great in that activity. And then a new activity come out with new perks, and the old ones wouldn't work in that activity. If that's wrong, please correct me. And in that sense, no, I don't think it's fair to say that these perks add anything groundbreaking to the game, right? I mean, the most coolest thing I think that's coming this season is that they're bringing Firefly back on kinetic weapons other than Ace of Spades, right? Hung Jury seems to be able to have it, and Fatebringer.
I'm more, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'm a little bit more excited of the versatility of these perks in PvP. I'll be 100%. I'll be 100% honest.
It's shit.
I know. That's just where I found that kind of like what if factor with what if I got an auto rifle with both those perks on it. What is the versatility going to be? Where I'm always equating on how I can utilize my primary in a 1-on-3 fashion. That's where I kind of put the ceiling at for it. That's pretty much the reason why I use the Rat King. And I know 30 was obviously basing his question on the PvE aspect, and to be honest, the PvE aspect hasn't really changed so much, as that you're going to utilize the buffs that they give you from the artifact, and then pretty much everything else is relatively the same. Everyone's running in with Xeno and Anarchy to do high DPS encounters. So they're not going to change the entire framework of killing monsters or killing bosses at an expedited fashion, but they bring a lot of versatility when it comes to other events and other activities, and more so I've been very curious on how it translates into the PvP aspect. Weezy says for PvE, new elemental well mods are pretty good, and that's where I want to get back to in the PvE building of my class. I had so much fun in ironically, I believe it was Season Worthy when they had the sidearm mod, and then I was just melting stuff with Devil's Ruin. If I could get that versatility back, and maybe I just need to do a little bit more research with these elemental well mods, but I enjoyed building a armor build and mod build around that, and that's where I had the most fun, by putting together some dope PvE build and having a PvP build, and then being able to go back and forth with the other one when I have another activity to dive into. Currently, I'm just switching mods in my PvP build. I think that's kind of just lame, in my opinion, in terms of versatility. So being able to have a PvE loadout and a PvP loadout to go back and forth with one another, that's perfect equilibrium, if you ask me.
Yeah.
All right. Light. I was gonna say, go ahead and give out. Lightleap's gonna be leaving here in a little bit. I want him to be able to just close out with anything he wants to say. We're not gonna be ending the stream. I'm gonna be go ahead and reading through the TWAB when that goes out.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I'll be going ahead and read through the TWAB. I already got another scene already set up for y'all. But I want Lightleap to go ahead and close out anything he wants to say, whether on this season or future expectations.
Yeah. So I think generally I'm asking everyone to step away from the game. Ask yourself, I know we're attached to our characters and everything, but ask yourself, what are we really getting, right? Remember that Outriders, or most games that are 3 to 4 years in development, cost $60, still rake in a ton of profit, right? And then you have Destiny, which gives us Beyond Light, which gives us these seasons, the seasonal activity, which basically patched together from other activities, and basic stuff like new loot and new perks. And is it really worth it? Is it really something that, and then they bring out the biggest change, quality of life ever, and it's monetized on top of what you already paid? And I'm just wondering, ask yourself, is there really a good reason to defend this state of the game at the moment? This is what I want everybody to kind of get into, because I feel like we're really being put up, really we're getting, it's just I don't know, man. There's all these sayings I have in German, but I can't find the right saying in English. It's just, it's just a ripoff, man. I wanted to say something more creative, but yeah. But I enjoyed the conversation with you, Wolfie.
Thank you.
I hope we can do it again next week.
Absolutely.
We'll do this more often. Take apart the season of the Splicer, and then also take apart VOG when it's coming, and what else is coming. My expectations for this season, it's not really much. I think they will be minor adjustment right now for Transmog, or something with a promise of the future. Mm-hmm. I'm legitimately have a hard time seeing the direction is set. There will be outrage. There will be maybe players leaving, like me, towards the end of the season after VOG, and they'll be fine with it. I think they'll reassess then. If it's really bad, they might dial it back. But I think they are seeing how far they can go with the franchise, with the monetization of the franchise, while still getting money for expansions. Because at this level, I feel that Witch Queen is either going to be a lot cheaper, or it's after which I don't see any way forward how they're going to sell us Witch Queen with that state of the game. I don't know.
They're gonna have a lot of things to fix to kind of reinvigorate people's excitement for Witch Queen. I feel like Bungie in particular, especially with their treatment of Destiny, they've always been they've always felt that they've had a giant safety net to fall on while they're doing their trapeze act, because they know that people will always return to their game, even if they leave for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, or even like some of us that just delete counts and then we have another account to come back to. They're expectant of that, and that expectation, I don't know what needs to be done for that to be removed, because that expectation grants them that frame of mind to push out the same content, the same dribble, the same way of feeding us that dribble content. It's always, they're safe to know that the Eververse is going to make them money, that people are going to buy their seasons, people are going to buy their expansions. I'm not saying that people need to stop buying. I'm not, because I went ahead and bought two ornaments that I've been wanting for almost 2 years now on my character. But what I'm trying to get at with that statement is that Bungie, they have always felt safe because they know they have no competition. They can get away with the status quo, and they can just reshuffle management and I wouldn't even say new people. They can reshuffle management where the person that they bring in next basically has the same idea. They just got a different path to get to it. When are things going to be different to the point where we're back to where we were? I don't know. I don't even know where we can say that we were at our most zen. Maybe Forsaken, when Forsaken dropped in this iteration of Destiny 2, but I don't know. Eugene says, as a paid player, I don't have an issue with what they give us. I have issues with what they give to the free players. I think a lot of us have that problem. I know probably as a free player, if a person's reading that or involved in this conversation, they're probably like saying, well, I deserve something. Well, it technically really don't. Us paid players probably deserve something a little bit more. But yeah, Lightleap, thanks so much.
I definitely think we deserve more.
Yeah, thanks so much for being a part of this.
I wanna give credit to the fans. It's the Dub is asking quick thoughts on one new Trials weapon. Trials is beyond saving, and that's not a part of the loot on PC. Remember, I'm playing of a PC player.
Yeah,
I am pleasantly surprised that there is at least one new weapon that can, keep the playlist a bit active when it's out. Trials, in my opinion, is just as I said, on PC, it's unplayable. It's literally unplayable unless you're in the top. But at least it's one new weapon, yeah. Wolvie, thanks so much for hosting me.
No, I appreciate it, Lightleap.
And
we're not going anywhere. We're going to be reading the TWAB, but thanks again for coming out, buddy. Thank you again for being a part of this and putting this idea in my head, because you deserve credit for it.
Sure one. All right. See you soon, man.
Thanks a lot, man. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch to this scene. Let me go ahead and bring the camera up. We are going to read through this TWAB as soon as it comes out. Capture device. There he is. There he is. There he is. Alright. Filter on that. Some of these songs by Harris Heller really aren't that bad. Kind of growing on me, I'll be honest with you. Alright. Okay. Yeah, well, my opinion real quick about Trials, Dub, I think it's nice that we're getting a new weapon this season. Submachine gun. Am I really excited for submachine gun? No. I guess it will be cool to have a submachine gun to use in PvE. But is one weapon going to be enough? ISO coming back this season is going to help a little bit. We'll see. We'll see. We shall see. So we were on TWAB. TWAB standby. We were literally just waiting for that thing to drop. I have a feeling I'm gonna have to change where I'm getting the source from. I doubt, because they never upload everything. Gotta go. Have a good stream later, peeps. Zubair, thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it. The moment they dumped DSC as a pinnacle source destroyed its relevancy in the expansion year it was released. My tune on what they give free-to-play players changed. Fuck them. Eugene, I'm really upset about the DSC and pinnacle source as well. I explained it earlier in that giant rant I had. I'm extremely livid about that. I had fun in DSC. I thought it was a really cool raid. I felt comfortable knowing that I knew every role, that I could perform any role, that I could drop the role I was doing to help someone else in their role need be. Yeah, I appreciate that, Krebs. Yeah, give a good like for Lightleap. He's been extremely helpful to continue to want to do this program and be a part of it. It was you know, they approached me about this a while back. We should talk about Halo Infinite. Man, I don't know if I could talk about Craig the Brute for that long. Craig the Brute, yeah, that they need a new trailer. They need something else to kind of make me feel a little bit more awake with what's going on. That's what I need. 5, 6. Let's see if that works. Okay, cool. Wilby, I really don't understand why the new Titan exotic leg piece can be equipped with Behemoth. Makes no sense. What do you mean equipped with Behemoth? Meaning putting those on and then having the Stasis subclass still active? I thought you could only take benefit if you were using solar. That's how I read it. Let me go ahead and double check. This was last week. Did I skip it? Yeah, I skipped it. Wait, there we go. Yeah, I thought we had the pictures of the new... I thought they had that on this patch. Was it a previous patch? Could be wrong. Nah, I'm using it on Behemoth. No, you only need solar eliminations. Gotcha. It's a solar final blows weapons that should count too. Then I agree. I don't think those should work. Regardless of you using a solar weapon, I don't think that it should proc like that. You shouldn't be able to use Behemoth, take advantage of those things, and not be on solar. Yeah, everyone's using Stasis, so it's free as fuck, for sure, for sure. The Quick Fang being back, that's big. That's big for that ability, or excuse me, that hunter movement. It's enormous, actually. We did if you're just joining us, we did a review, Lightleap and myself, kind of like our, no one's call it a review, but just our first impression of the new season. We got that behind. Ooh, look at this. This came out just 5 seconds ago. Fixed an issue that was causing some players to crash when signing in. Fixed an issue when some players were able to access crossplayer. You mean you fixed your own issue? That's what you fixed, right? Your own issue. They probably have this thing about to drop any second. Let me pull up Twitter. Fett coming in with a $10 super chat. Deep Stone Crypt should have at least stayed pinnacle during this entire year. Only conclusion I can come to is for some dumb reason they thought there were too many pinnacle sources for a 10 pinnacle bump. I'm sure that was the reason. Do I think that's still justified? Absolutely not. Thanks a lot, Fett, for the $10 super chat. You are breathtaking, brother. Krebsy, we need a breathtaking. We need a breathtaking command. We need a breathtaking command. I don't know what role to look for quick flame. It doesn't have quick flame. It doesn't have whirlwind. Sorry. Honestly, I don't even think you need a quick thing with a good roll on it. A lot of people are just utilizing it. Well, hunters at least are utilizing it for their movement speed. That movement speed's through the friggin' roof, bro. That's what I used before it got sunsetted. Before Beyond Light dropped, I was running around with a quick thing. Man, if someone was chasing me, I was by myself. Shring, I'm gone. I'm gone like a like a ninja. No, not justified at all, dude. Not justified in the slightest. That does not justify jumping the paid expansion raid in favor of free-to-play old raid. Agreed. I think that's the one big thing, you know, almost all of us in here will 100% agree on. It wasn't. It shouldn't have been dropped. It shouldn't have been dropped, regardless of where they found themselves and the amount of pinnacles we were subject to on just a 10 pinnacle bump. That's not our problem. That's not our problem. Like, at the very least, if they wanted to change it, you could have at least made them +1s. But no, now we only got like what, 2 or 3 +2s, and the rest are just the 4 +1s from the playlist and then the clan. Nah. All right. Destiny 2 is being brought offline for expected maintenance. Players are required to download the hotfix before logging back in. Ooh, wonder what. Oh, that was what they fixed. That's what they put up. Yeah, you know, most of these cats are saying this. You know, most of these Destiny tweets or people talking about Destiny are coming in. A lot of people are saying it. There's no competition for this game, none. I've been saying it for a long time. For a lot of us in this Discord, in this community, that the management has been able to run the status quo because there's been no fire under their ass. There's been no proverbial hot seat they've been sitting on because they've been able to run the course themselves. They've been able to run the course themselves, be in last place the entire time, and push themselves to first at any fucking moment. You know, this cryothesia gun, a lot of people have been talking about it in terms of when they think that's going to be nerfed or disabled. I don't. That gun's good. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think it's at a point where it's broken or anything like that. The catalyst is helpful. Don't get me wrong, but still. Yeah, I can't think of any other reason either for that. I paid for that raid expecting relevancy for the year. 100%. We were grinding Garden of Salvation for a whole year. I played Garden of Salvation all the way basically until the last week of October. First week of November, I was playing Garden. Now I'm probably never doing Deepstone again. Did you hear the rumor that Overwatch 3 may be an MMO similar to Destiny? Really, Sven? No, I didn't hear that, dude. That's wild if that's the case. They know they're supposed to do an announcement of Overwatch 2 next week, and I'll probably cover that here because, like I said, I'm a big Overwatch fan. It was what I was playing before Destiny announced Trials. That was my PvP edge in the competitive ranked playlist in Overwatch, and that's a whole nother animal in its own, dude. But I want to be able to cover that and talk about the news that they have on that in regards to Overwatch 2 next week when they drop that. That's a big game I want to be a part of, the second one, and even for the PvE aspect of it too. Obviously, you guys already know PvP is my thing, but PvE in Overwatch was fun. The events that they had each and every season were awesome. Stories were good. The videos were good. Overwatch just does so many things in the right way. So many things. You're probably not wrong, Legend. It's almost an indirect compliment, but they've been able to maintain, like I said, their status quo without worry, without having testing breathtaking. without having to worry about someone else taking their spot. Whenever something got close, I think the Division 2 when it came out was probably the closest thing, because that's when you saw other content creators from this community actually dipping their toes into that one as well. And then we saw what happened after that. After that raid came out, it was over. Overwatch would be absolutely dead in the competitive space if they don't they do a Destiny style MMO in that aspect. But if they keep their core, which I'm sure they're doing in the second one, while also having that PvE aspect, I think they could survive. But they have to keep that core. They have a whole Overwatch league dedicated. We used to watching some of these Overwatch games on local TV. I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't believe it. There you go. You're breathtaking. I'm breathtaking. Let's be breathtaking together. Thank you so much for that breathtaking command. We finally have it. We got a breathtaking command. Awesome. Wolvie, exactly. You at least have to admit a number of games have tried to compete, but they have failed. Of course they have. Like I said, I played 2 of them, Division 1 and 2. I didn't try Borderlands. I know in some respect you can say that one remotely competed because of just the looter shooter aspect of it. But I don't think there's anything else that can even come close and even hold a candle. And it's a damn shame, dude. It's a damn shame to say that nothing can hold a candle to Destiny, because it's like they're sitting out with their chest cocked, peacock out, and they're just like, yeah, nothing's gonna shit on us. It doesn't matter what you guys are at. Is it Overwatch 2 just adding the PvE aspect? The PvP is still from the first. Majority of it, they're going to make things look better. They're probably going to fine-tune people's abilities. Excuse me. They're probably going to fine-tune some people's abilities, some of the characters. But predominantly, it's pretty much staying the same thing. Yeah, Zubair command is going to be next. I need a spreadsheet of just awesome Zubair quotes, analogies, and just like wise sentences, and then we can compose a Zubair command. For me, Anthem is still the closest to Destiny just in terms of gameplay, but we all know what happened there. You're probably right. Movement, the board, the freedom that you have in it definitely felt that way. But yeah, we all know where exactly that fell on the spectrum. Bungie is doing something right, and many games are failing where Bungie is getting away with this. Agreed. It's I don't know. It's like a stigma. Most of these other development companies just think they can't climb over. They're not able to, bridge the gap, so to speak. Titanfall 3 would make me walk away from Destiny. Really, Stephen O'Leary? Really? Okay. I know the Titanfall community is pretty tight. It's pretty tight. There have been people that enjoyed Titanfall 2, and it sucks because I played a little bit of the PvP, and I think I had a clip or two where I brought a Titan down and I killed 2 people, got in it, and then killed 1 more. I had a lot of fun, but why it didn't translate, man, I can't put my thumb on it. I didn't put enough hours into it to really dissect it and figure out why I think it didn't work. But I know that community, it's pretty honorable. Like where they will stick to their guns and be like, man, Titanfall 2 was the best. So can't really knock it for that. Can't wait until they start rolling out TV shows and more movies about Destiny. I'll be interested in that too, because we talked our shit, but I think the narrative, the lore in Destiny has been the one spot where they have always been at a 90 to 95, if not 100%. The only times I felt it fell short was last season when they basically left Sagira blowing up in a noble fashion to just text. Those moments of heroism by a ghost or something big, you need a cinematic for that. Put it in Overwatch though. So did I, dude. So did I. So did I. I was I believe I was 3,400 was my highest. I think it was like somewhere it was in Diamond, but I can't remember where I finished. I was like 3,400s. Bungie does about 90% right, so it's about 10% or so. In regards to the entire aspect, or you mean like in the lore, the narrative part? Because the lore and narrative part, I think it's on point. I love it. I really don't have much negatives to say about that. No, it's okay. I know that the Lost Sector is the legs today, Sean. I'm gonna be hitting that up as well to get those scales to see exactly what they're gonna do. It would be nice to get a new exotic, maybe to switch out. All right, thanks a lot, Krebs. I'll switch to that right now. Got the TWAB is out. Excuse me. Okay. Move tab to the window. There we go. And here we are. Let me move this to here. And we're good. All right, everybody, let's jump into this TWAB. The game as a whole, okay. I mean, if that's how you see it, Eugene, man, I wish I could see it like that. I really could. I'm not saying you're wrong. I wish I could see it as that. I think it's probably around like maybe 75-25 in total. But man, hey, more power to you, bro. Let's jump into this. Live action Destiny is a bad idea. They will never be able to make those armor sets look good. They defy true anatomy in that game. Yeah, you're not going to be able to make shoulder pads as big as a moon. All right, this week at Bungie, we started splicing. Season of Splicer went live this week. Killer Robots channeled their inner Mr. Burns and blotted out the sun over the last city. Now Guardians are strapping on power gloves and teaming up with Techmaster Elixni to fight in the shade. It's a tale as old as time. $300 in Beauty and the Beast. In one sentence of a pun. And then The Simpsons. Yeah, I'm done. We had some honeydew errors earlier on, but our team of experts buckled down to commune with our servers and fix the issues so we could get back to playing our deepest. Get back to our playing. Our deepest apologies to anyone who had their gameplay delayed. Check out the player support report below for the latest on any ongoing issues we are tracking. Despite some hiccups, the season is in full swing now. Here's the quick look at everything the new season pass has to offer. We won't watch that. Hack and slash. Let me switch to this. The season. The season has has ushered in new additions to your arsenal, from seasonal rewards, post-game gambit, crucible, vanguard drops, and more. We gave you a perk we gave you a peek at these last week, so go check them out if you want to look at what awaits you in game. We also added a series of returning future war cult weapons, loaded up with new rolls, as well as some classic specific swords to slice and dice your way to victory. I don't know, this too much. All of these weapons are available for free to all players and drop from multiple world loot pool sources. Yeah, I know, Creature. It's just like I literally get tongue twisted just by some of these sentences, and I don't even think it was meant to be that. Yeah, there's another Creature, bro. Yeah, you've been replaced. You've been replaced as producer. All right, let's continue. Look at some of the weapons. These are these swords that we got. We were just talking about Quick Fang, and then the Titan and Warlock sword, respectively. I'd like to get a few decent rolls in the sidearm and try this out. But yeah, I was a part of Future War Cult, so it's nice that they're back. Kind of makes you ask a question. I thought we were done with factions, but here we are with factions. Iron sharpens iron. Next week, the first Iron Banner of the season of the Splicer goes live. Lord Saladin will be back at the tower with bounties and a slew of pinnacle rewards. Find him up on the top level and make sure you. Why did you say that? Make sure you grab the quest he is offering as well. sorry. We've enabled the heavy weapons step, and based on player, we've re-enabled the heavy weapon step, and based on player feedback, have made it much easier to complete. It only requires 3 machine gun kills now to finish. It's still, you shouldn't have even had it in the first place. Iron Banner starts next week, May 18th at 10 a.m. Ends May 25th at 10 a.m. So all next week is Iron Banner, and that means Wednesday we'll be doing Iron Banner stream. Jump in with us. We'll be doing both PC and Xbox next week in Banner, and then maybe we'll even get lucky. We'll do some crossplay. Just kidding. By the way, that wasn't a test. That was they fucked up. They dropped it. Oh, and here, look, here's their money. Here's this money. Here's this fucking money. Look at this. This is what they did for the money. Yeah. I appreciate all you do as the producer as well, Lefted Creature. You've been so big. All right. If you want it, cool. No one's gonna knock you if you paid for it. It's just like, man, where are your priorities, bro? Where are your priorities? Known issues. Since Season of the Splicer launch, some players have been unable to access Destiny and experience crash when attempting to log in. We fixed this issue 3.2.0.0. That's what we just read before reading this, where they said they fixed an issue with people activating in crossplay. Well, you guys did that. This patch also addressed an issue where people some players get crossplay early. Well, you shouldn't have turned it on. It wasn't an issue. It's just you turned it on. The player is now able to turn their armor into universal ornaments. We'd like to clarify how and why some armor doesn't appear unlocked in the armor customization area. Armor won't show up if a player is wearing that armor. It makes sense. Some armor sets were purposely combined into one set to reduce players accidentally overspending their tokens for duplicate armor. Examples include Gambit Prime armors, Leviathan Prestige class items, Red War Parade armors, Green and Blue Solstice armors, Purple Solstice armor, Exotic armor, cannot be taken the appearance. Year 1 armor ornaments. These are being worked on. Will be implemented later this year. So there are a few things. I thought it felt a little less. I guess this makes sense now. A few known issues. Presage activity is not rewarding pinnacles as intended. I was wondering about that. I was wondering why Harbinger was giving a pinnacle and Presage wasn't. This is bullshit. You guys are clowns for this. Deepstone Crypt no longer awards pinnacles, but lists as that it does. Why the fuck did you take it away in the first place? Stupid. The Titan Guardian Games Contender Plate chess piece does not appear in the preview. How about Guardian Games statue is wrong because the wrong fucking team won. Guardian Games crown holograms may remain on players' heads after the conclusion of the event. Guardian Games quests and bounties may remain in players' inventories after the conclusion of the event. Valor and Glory infantry may not gain progress as expected when completing matches. That's interesting. I was wondering why it was getting a little rough in Glory yesterday for survival. I wonder if that's being throttled in an unintended way, of course. Players cannot use Wishender's perks Queen Wrath when poisoned. Okay. The /join command is not functioning properly for players on Steam. Armor says this bounty incorrectly states open blind well chest to progress. Battlegrounds activity will not progress the Sacred Fusion quest. The special finisher mod can be purchased. The tutorial for creating an ornament through Armor Systems does not play if a Titan character is the first character to reach this step. My lord, that's horrible. The encrypted data trove items on ranks 2, 12, and 32. The Season of Splicer Season Pass can be acquired with a full inventory. Players should ensure that they have space in their inventory before claiming these things. 150 strands that can be earned from completing the armor synthesis interjection is not sent to the postmaster when players have a full consumables inventory. That sucks. The Dawn Revere Dawn armor set from Season of the Chosen is not showing available shaders when previewing individual armor pieces in the preview and appearance customization screen. I hope most of you aren't really affected by that. A lot of that seems very obscure and riddled. So hopefully none of y'all are really affected by any of those things. So and then you got your movies. Where's the art? Here's the art. I got more of this baby stuff. Reading something in Russian. All right. We hope you're enjoying the new 6-player offensive. Oh, you mean override? Or do they mean to write offensive? The 6-player offensive, new story, and all the sweet loot. We're just getting started, and we still have Vault of Glass, weekly expunge missions, and more coming up, I guess, because of Expunge's Pinnacle and Vault of Glass Pinnacle. They're content with removing the Pinnacle for Deepstone. Still don't agree with it. I don't think many should. It has been a full year. And yeah, we've been super busy supporting the launch, but with my new Splicer tech, I've hacked my sleep schedule. All right, whatever, don't care. Well, that pretty much concludes it. Not so much, pretty much kind of just going over things that we already knew. A few problems here and there with the known issues, but honestly, lackluster TWAB to say the least. We kind of almost expected it. Brand new season, you knew that they were going to just touch on the things that were going on. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is override. It's Vex offensive. It's like who works there? Who works there? It's Battlegrounds are still funner, and then override is brand new in my opinion. Really, Sam? I actually like override a little bit more than Battlegrounds. I will say, because I feel like Battlegrounds is just so like, gotta do this, get past my shields, and then let me go to another portion of the boss fight that's timed. I don't know. What happens if Gambit Rate Menagerie? Yeah, with a little bit of contact plugged in there. A little bit of cousin contact for a little bit of mix up in between. That pretty much does it for us over here, everybody. We go over the TWAB every Thursday. We have Lightleap join me. We're going to expand that table a little bit more, get you guys a few other voices on the arena so we can turn that round table into spicy, productive, but still inclusive, because that's obviously all I've ever wanted to be a part of here. I want this community to have differing opinions, but at the same time, we can rely on one each other without, pissing everybody off. But yeah, that will pretty much conclude it for us today, everybody. I really appreciate y'all being here. Sorry about in the beginning, dealing with the little one, waiting for my mother-in-law to get here. I really appreciate Lightleap, holding down the fort for me when he was able to. Overall, I'm okay with what we have so far in the season. It's not me being a shill. That's not me being content. It's kind of just going with the expectation flow of what I've had with Destiny. I think more things need to be added. I think more things need to be reinvigorated. But I'll sit here and I'll say things that I do like and not have a problem with it. I really don't. So again, everybody, thank you so much for being here. We're going to be live tomorrow, first weekend of trials, very first weekend of trials into this new season. I'm going to guess it's going to be the submachine gun. If I'm a betting man, I think the 3-win will be the submachine gun. And hopefully that brings in a lot of people to come in and be a part of it. They still need a lot of things to fix in trials. Incentive, rewards. People should be getting rewards each and every win or loss, for that matter. They pay you. I saw the checks. Nah, man, they don't pay me. They don't pay me enough to be as not as nice as I am. Trust me. I could be very, very cruel, very rigid, but at the same time, I'm not here to burst people's bubbles. That have fun. If you're having fun, I'm just here to give you my opinion. Most of the opinions that I give, honestly, most will probably agree with. But at the same time, if you don't, throw it in the chat, throw it in the comments. I read everything. I'm a part of everything. So, again, everybody, thank you so much for being a part of this Thursday episode of the arena right here on the Coliseum. Gonna have more people along with Lightleap and myself to be a part of this program to talk about the week in Destiny, to build up to our TWAB releases and our talks. Again, thank you so much. Look out for tomorrow. Gonna be doing live cards again. And if it is submachine gun at 3, I will be doing some help either Sunday or Monday to help people get to that 3 wins. So, and you don't have to be a tier 3 subscription. Those tier 3 subscriptions are for the people that want to schedule a run with me to get us on their own time, at their own convenience. That's what that tier 3 subscription is all about. But the other 2 subscriptions, if you're a part of any of those, Monday, that's the day to jump in. Let's play some Trials together. Let's get that submachine gun if it is the reward, or even if it's ISOL. Might even do one for ISOL because I love that sniper so very much. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure you guys got your notifications, the bell button. I know Lono's been talking about it. It's affected him. I think it affected me in some little way. It's kind of like leveled out a little bit now. But make sure you got the notifications turned to all. Let me know what you guys think of this setup. We're looking for new expansive ideas to cover Destiny as well within this channel. So let me know about that. And again, we are going to be here tomorrow for some live cards. Be a part of that. Be a part of it over the weekend as well. Saturday, we're thinking of a new way to give you guys halftime, to give you guys the help that you need to go flawless yourself, because that's really what this whole channel is built upon. Make people feel confident going into trials if they've never been flawless before on their own accord. So you're not paying for someone to do it for you. You're not paying for someone to get on the account. You feel confident going in with your own fire team just based on the knowledge that me and other fire team members that I bring on the show to talk about it with you guys. So again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe us. We're here Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sometimes on Tuesday. We were here last Tuesday because we had the launch of the season. But don't forget, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow. And as always, stay flawless.